the boys are chilling in the basement at a sleepover when I get the idea that, hey, maybe we should play Dungeons and Dragons, we're all nerds here. Why not try it out? At the time, what I didn't expect was the thought becoming a reality and leading to the creation of Aerilon, the home of different nations and characters forged from our minds that live there. Alright, so it was a success. Now that everybody wanted to play D&D, my friends Colin and Ryan and I, we all went to Target in search of dice sets. Colin found himself one for about 5 bones, but that was crossing the line for me. See, I had a plan to spend a $10 Amazon gift card for the D&D starter set and start with that. And Ryan, he just decided to buy the Essentials kit. The next day we all went to Ryan's basement where we first had the idea of playing D&D to make our characters. And we did, but they were all basic rip-offs of the starter set characters. I went home and spent the next week reading about the rules and the adventure that came with the starter set, The Lost Mines of Phandelver. And it went pretty smoothly when we played it. I mean, it only lasted about 4 sessions, and sure I had to nerf a lot of the enemies because we only had a party of 2 playing it, but they pretty much did everything, all the side quests, all the dragons, and we were kind of rushing it at this point. It was only 4 sessions for a campaign that usually takes a little bit longer than that, but it was all going smoothly until we reached Wave Echo Cave. Big guy tries to shoot a bat and accidentally hits Logan Drake, who gets mad and in vengeance kills Big Guy. So Big Guy's saving throws was a 2 and a 1, so he ended up dying instead of just going unconscious, and then Drake just got killed by some skeletons later on. After dipping our toes into the world of D&D, I decided I want to make my own adventure, so I did. I made this world and it was called Aerilon, full of cities like Grey Coast and Nulla. I made a PDF covering the entire adventure, and in fact I'll leave a link to it down in the description if you guys want to check it out. So I told Ryan and Colin from the last one, as well as Sam, a new person in this saga, I decided to tell him to make characters. And they all did. And Sam never played before, but I got him to join this time around. For this adventure, I was allowing homebrew classes and characters because I thought it would make it more interesting, but what I didn't expect was the beauty that these characters would hold. Ryan as Gorgon the Rock, the Warforged Warrior, Colin as Gargantuan, the Luxodon Ranger, and Sam as Merrick Welby, the Halfling Bard. The adventure begins in Grey Coast, where the trio is tasked by the king to find 3 ancient artifacts for a large sum of gold. Through interacting with townsfolk, they come to realize that there are rumors of ancient beings that live in the Inferno volcano just northwest of Grey Coast. Once inside the Inferno volcano, they begin looking around for loot, only to be attacked by 3 magmen. After a long fought fight, they head deeper into the volcano to see a hanging crown on the ceiling. So the way that they decided they wanted to complete this puzzle was to have Merrick Welby be launched by Gargantuan onto the crown. He uses his dagger, slices it, grabs the crown, falls down, does an acrobatic roll, and they safely get the crown. And it worked to some extent. See, what happened was Gargantuan launched Merrick Welby towards the crown and he latched onto it, but he'd missed the catch and dropped his rapier onto the ground. Gargantuan tries to shoot the string, but ultimately misses and hits Merrick Welby. Gorgon the Rock tosses his blade to Merrick, who catches it and cuts the string. He accidentally lets go of the crown, however, only for the crown to be crushed by Gargantuan's big, meaty hands. So they exit the volcano and hire a local blacksmith to fix the crown. A day or 2 passes and the blacksmith gives the crown back in terrible condition, but at least it was together this time. Merrick then uses vicious mockery to literally roast this guy to oblivion, and now the blacksmith dies. He's gone. There's no trace of him. Everybody just knows that he's missing. And then they go to the king and try to sell him the crown. But then the king's like, yo, I ain't looking for the crown. I'm looking for a hand axe, homie. And they're like, freak! So then they have to go back. The trio enter the volcano once again and fight the few baddies, but long story short, Merrick Welby grabs hold of the Axe of Ember. Now, given it's a ancient artifact, I basically made a rule for this campaign where ancient artifacts are kind of stuck to the wielder, kind of like Mjolnir to Thor. Grabbing the artifact set off a trap, essentially setting off the volcano, but they all made it out alive. Gorgon, Gargantuan, and Merrick return to Grey Coast, where the guards are searching for the missing man, the blacksmith. The 3 approach the king to hand him the Axe of Ember when 5 guards bust down the door and say, hey, I heard some rumors that y'all killed the blacksmith, scoring themselves a one-way ticket to the Nolan prison. So they all break out of the prison and sneak into the town of Nulla that's ran by an underground communist government. They decide to overthrow the government by sneaking into the sewers and killing them all. Oh yeah, and they grab the second artifact, the Nolan shield, in the sewers. And also a mimic disguised as a chest full of guts. So now they have this chest full of guts, and they can't really carry it in their backpack. So they're carrying this thing around, and this thing's big. So what they decide to do is they decide to go to Grey Coast and try to sell it. Now, the guards really don't want to let them in because they know that these people are murderers. But somehow Merrick Welby convinced the guards to let him in. So he goes in with this chest, and next thing you know, Gargantuan and Merrick Welby are sweet talking to guards when Gorgon the Rock runs out holding up a sack of gold with 20 guards chasing him. The three run back to Nulla, bringing the 20 Grey Coast guards with them. This started the Nullan Civil War. So now you have the entire Nullan army versus 20 Grey Coast guards, and the trio aids the Nullan army in the battle and come out victorious with one Nullan guard left. This Nullan guard takes off his mask and reveals himself to be a new player character, Chad the Rogue Bugbear. So now with Chad, the party of four head into the woods west of Nulla. They heard rumors about a floating island of Aerilon over the pond of Aerilon. Entering the woods, they encounter a dragon, but this is very important because they all just run away. They continue to head west to find the pond of Aerilon, where there are two stone pillars that rise out of the ground. It takes them a while, but they figure out that the two artifacts must be placed on each pillar. When they finally figure this out, they place them there, and then like a platform begins rising from the center of the pond. And they're all rushing to get there, but Chad's the only one who makes it. So this platform that's floating out of the pond brings him to the center of the sky city of Aerilon, where the goddess Aerilon is found. So Chad finally arrives at Aerilon, where there's two Luxodon and a feminine figure standing there. However, he rolls a perception check of like a 1 or a 2, I don't remember, so now he thinks that this lady is a guy. So Chad begins to approach these three figures, and the two Luxodon jump down. Aerilon and Chad begin to talk. What Chad doesn't know is that these two Luxodon have already killed all three of his other party members. Aerilon, the goddess, actually informs him this, and he's like, alright sir, look, I don't know what you're fibbing about, but I'm about to kill you. So he kills Aerilon. The city begins falling down, and he grabs onto this necklace, puts it on, and he's like, yo, I want to revive my friends. But the only one who comes back to life is Merrick, and then Chad dies from fall damage. So now you have a halfling bard and a bunch of dead people scattered around. And Merrick basically sings a song of inspiration to revive his dead team.
White people you can sing it to, just change that into a W. Miss my wigger.
So the entire party then heads back to Grey Coast as if nothing happened, and that's where the adventure ends for now. Moral of the story is play D&D. It's a great game and it builds friendships, and honestly I have some of the greatest memories during this campaign. Sure, it was only 10 sessions, each session being about an hour and a half. It was so much fun, it's a great experience, and it's not incredibly complicated. I know if there's anybody out there wanting to play D&D, it sounds very intimidating to begin just because of all the rules and time commitments to it. But if you can just get a group of friends to play it, it's not that bad. It's actually a really fun game. And what I love is there's so many options. I mean, you could start with a pre-made adventure like we did, or you could start with the custom adventure that probably sucks like ours did. Aerilon was a fun time, and we hope to continue the campaign soon, but I think I ought to go so you can begin writing your Dungeons & Dragons story, and I can get back to mine. I need a social life.